funds to raise from an institutional group of limited partners or higher net worth individuals who actually provide the VCs with the money to invest. It doesn't come necessarily from the VCs themselves. And what we saw after 2022 was a certain pullback of a number of international institutions, international companies from investing in African ecosystem through African venture capital funds. So I'm curious, as a question to pose to our group, what evolutions to your fund strategy or your planned fund strategy in the last 12 months?
So I'll start since I have the mic.
No, go ahead.
Okay. So, well, I think first, fundraising for VCs has always been hard. This is something that we need to say, and it's a fact. And VCs are always fundraising. But I think it doesn't happen overnight. So I think you build your strategy and your track record and your positioning, and then you build those relationships with LPs over time. So we are definitely in a down cycle, and we're definitely in winter. It doesn't mean that VCs are not raising, or it doesn't mean that. It just means that it's a bit different and a bit more difficult. But I believe that the best fund will still be able to raise, and will still be able to invest in the right companies. So, the typology of LPs have changed. And those that are, some have, there is less capital going to VC for sure. So some asset allocators are like less excited to invest in VC right now. So maybe family offices and business angels are shying away a little bit. But there are institutions that are dedicated to support and invest in VCs. And they will continue doing that. So I'm thinking about DFIs, or I'm thinking about funds of funds that have mandates for a certain region and that are supporting the ecosystem on the long term. So what I think is important to understand is this is a cycle. And the economy is going up and down, and the interest rates are affecting what's happening in the VC industry. So just to put it in simple terms, when interest rate drop, capital allocators are looking for better assets to allocate the capital, and assets that will pay back more, better yield. So this is when the venture industry is becoming more attractive, and people are shifting away from mutual funds and more secure asset classes that provide a lower return to more risky asset classes, but that provide a better return, like VC. And this is when the stock market is also, prices are going up, so there is a better potential for startups to exit at high valuations, and then for investors to make more money. So this is when all the money is shifting towards VC. What happens when interest rates go up, then it's less risky, and there is more, the return potential is better for less risky assets. So the money is shifting away from VCs and going to those less risky asset classes. So this is what's happening exactly at the moment. So interest rates are going up, and it affects the whole cycle and the whole industry. But again, it's about time, and this is also a great opportunity for the VC industry and VC starting, because it's a great vintage. 2023 is an amazing vintage for new funds starting out in the market valuations. So just to conclude on this, what I'm saying is that it's about building the relationships and doing it. Fundraising is not something that you do overnight. For example, for us, this is the case, and we haven't changed our investment strategy. We are just doing what we've been doing, but adjusting to the current market.
Yeah, just quick thoughts from me. We're currently fundraising for our fund, so we share the same pains as startups raising from VCs. So, just in general, as we're going and reaching out to other LPs, as you were saying, the VC asset class, there's still a lot of demand for it. I think Brighter Bridges, there was a report that released earlier this year saying that the total number of VC dollars invested in Africa definitely decreased dramatically, but the number of deals stayed relatively stable. So that just shows more so about the interest. Of course, longer DD cycles, more careful look on the governance side of things for the startups. But I think there is still a lot of interest for high impact startups in Africa, generally across the continent, and basically with fund managers who are doing so. So, but I'll pass it on to people who
Yeah, thanks. Because we started months ago, and we have raised like a small fund from Moroccan LPs, corporates, and now we are really sorry, for early 2024, and yes, I think that our fundraising strategy, to a question mark, has been had to be adapted to the current, I mean, the cycle where we are today, whether like startups or VCs, and I think that it's related, and I think that the explanation made by Kenza were very pertinent and well explained, and we are trying to build maybe a mix between first corporates and DFIs in our fundraising strategy, because we think that yes, of course, they are looking for, I mean, all the investors are looking for return, and that's why we try our best to manage the funds. But I think that what's also important is the journey. So the journey as an investor, with your startups, and also your LPs, is also something important for them. So if we talk about DFIs, or we talk about